What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I've had some comments before. Maybe it wasn't you, but maybe it was. I've had some people request some tip videos and stuff, so I'm going to try to do some. I'm here at the house. It's a little windy, so hopefully you can hear me. And I'm testing out these lapel mics I've had. I didn't used to be able to get much luck out of them. Hopefully this wind isn't going to interfere too much. Let me know if you like them. Today, I am going to tell you some of the tips that I use for my own forehand. Yeah. All right, I'm trying to stand with the wind hitting me in the back so it's not hitting this mic. Before I go any further, give me some likes on these videos. Let me know if you're liking them. I'm going to try to start giving some little incentives. So let's see if we can get this video up to like 50 likes. Share it and everything for me, because if you get up to 50 likes, I might do a giveaway. Yeah, so try to help me get to the 50 likes on this video. It helps the videos out a lot. All right, so first things first, when it's coming to forehand, for me, one of the priorities in me throwing a forehand is going to be the correct disc. So generally, if you look at this disc, it's insanely flat, very flat disc. That is my preferred type of disc. This Kia is pretty flat as well. The yarns that I throw are flat, but my grip, you take your hand and you make a finger pew pew. That's how I do it. And you're gonna grab it like this and putting this pad of your finger against the inside rim here. Look, I can turn away and you can still hear me. Putting that pad right here kind of on this rim and against the flat plate, and this one's stacking. There's other ways people teach forehands, but for me personally, I just don't get much advantage out of me doing like what they call a fan gripped forehand. People use that for touch. I don't really get much out of it. I'm just so much more comfortable this way that I want a comfortable grip, and that's what I take. I know some people do like that stacked, like technically the power grip, but for me, it's this. And one thing, let me put these down for a second. This is a Kotare. One thing for me, whenever I'm teaching somebody to forehand, is you want some decent thumb pressure. You don't want it back. You want it up here. Right, my fingers are right behind this on the rim, so it's pinching the rim. And I don't like seeing people. You don't want your hand out like that. I like teaching with a cocked back wrist, like it's loaded and ready. I know there's people that use the limp wrist, they say, and not necessarily that mine, I don't implement a loose wrist, but I want it back because it helps me keep the disc still. And then if you really want to put some whip on it, I'm sure as you're coming back, you're going to see some wrist action, but a lot of this movement is here and then a snap. I get a lot of wrist with my forehands, so it's very snappy, and that's just what's always worked for me. So I don't like this. You see people throw like this and very uncontrollable. Me getting it back right here, I know I'm going to be able to release the disc where I want it to go. And I'm not going to throw this one far. This is the first throw of the day, 100% not warmed up, and I played a tournament this weekend. So I'm trying to hit these flat and just be smooth with them. That one I hit just maybe a little bit of an anti-release. And whenever I am trying to change my angles, it is a lot of upper body movement. It's not me doing this like I'm not doing this for an anhyzer. It's the same throw, and I'm trying to hold that same angle here. So if I'm throwing a hyzer, I'm trying to come and my body is tilted. So like that. So I'm trying not to like overuse this elbow motion and keeping it tucked. So a few of those. Here's a slower disc, and I'll aim more flat. Maybe a slight hyzer. That could have been just completely flat, but in general, that is how I like throwing a forehand. There are situations to where I may have to change that, but maybe, like I say, like a power and my run up, maybe I can face the camera and do it this way, is going to be kind of like a shuffle. Sometimes if I'm not getting a lot of power, I'll do just like a step into it. If I'm doing like a hole that's like 170 feet or something like that, and it just needs to go right, I don't need a lot on it, I will step into it. But if I'm going power or something, it'll be a shuffle, almost like a baseball throw, because I played baseball whenever I was younger, so that's just what happens. So just like that, and keeping it low. One of the big important things, I know some people do have that, and I might have it a little bit from the side. You'll see them do this. For me, unless you're very proficient, I think, with a forehand, you need to keep it pretty simple at first. It's just trying to be small movements and get good with those touch forehands first, then start worrying about the power aspect of it. Because if you start adding, like trying to implement this movement like some of your big like forehand players use, that's gonna, let me give you an example of what it could do if you're not good at it. Is see how bad that flew? I call that a swoop or a scoop, and that's like scooping the ice cream and pulling it through, and that's not having like a good follow through is what it is. It's you doing this. And another problem is this. That comes sometimes people that haven't thrown a disc but have thrown baseball. Whenever you throw a baseball, it's over, and a lot of times you kind of have like this wrist roll into it. With disc golf, you can't follow through like that because it's going to, I'll do one, it's going to turn into a thrower because of you torquing over and giving it off-axis torque. So you're wanting to try to keep that angle. You don't have to be severe with the palm to the sky thing, but you need to keep it pretty level until the disc is at least out of your hands. So out, and then if you want to, you can kind of follow through with it, but get good standing still and being smooth with your throw. I like to make my throws simple. All right, so one thing I will say, if maybe like you're having the problem with swooping your disc up, is work on just being good with the standstill first and not overpowering. Take yourself back and try not to throw it as far in your head. Try to be smooth with it. So I'll try to do just a standstill, and in a forehand I like to be a little sideways and be able to kind of use this back foot to rotate in, but pulling this disc back and just work on a small movement from here. I like keeping it tucked to my side, and being able to come through here. So I would work on this motion right here, driving your elbow forward. So here, and getting that Matty-O finger pop at the end. I always like telling people it's like snapping a towel. If you've ever, instead of doing it back like this, if you've tried to like almost use a whip type of thing, you're whipping with a whip, snap, just like that, and get smooth with that. It doesn't take a lot of power. That one high, it's got dirt all over it. The forehand's all about spin. It's a very high spin throw. So the more it spins, to me, the better it's gonna fly. No wobble, just that's my forehand. I will implement different little things. It is good to figure out how to flick a putter. And when I'm flicking a putter, it is a little bit of a different thing. Let me see if I can show you. Because a putter for me, usually that flick is a specific shot too. So I use a Berg a lot of times for this shot because it's a little bit better for forehand. But they're usually an Annie forehand that just floats, and it's very heavy wrist action. It's not a lot of arm. It's here, very small, and I'm putting a lot of spin on the disc with my wrist, getting that finger pressure against that inside rim, finger pressure against there, and the wrist cocked back, and just getting that floaty glide. And that is what I use for putter flicks. Not all this motion here. It's like a tucked in and a snap with my wrist. So it's a different throw. So I mean, it's two things to work on, but they both are focused around making sure you're not, whatever angle you're throwing that putter on with, it needs to be on one plane instead of like here, causing off-axis torque. You still got to be good with that angle, but I would start straight off, trying to throw straight or slight hyzer from a standstill and work that way. Let me know if you like these tips videos. Let me know if this mic's working out for you. I can try to use it in rounds. I'm not used to it that much, but if it works, it works. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, please like this video, share it with some people, and see if we can get the like count up to like 50. We'll start doing some like goals on these videos, try to get them boosted up. So that's all we got. Let me know what other tips you want. Till next time, peace.